Hello, I'm Teja Gerken with Peghead Nation, and what you just heard is the new Fishman Matrix Infinity pickup system, which is installed in this Martin OM21, and I've got it plugged directly into this Fishman SA330x speaker system. And the Matrix Infinity mic blend is the latest version of the Fishman Matrix pickup, which has been out for many years, and it's been sort of updated over the years, and this is what the company has just come out with at the 2018 Winter NAMM show. The Fishman Matrix Infinity mic blend consists of an onboard preamp, which is mounted directly to the end pin, and the Fishman Acoustic Matrix pickup. And the Acoustic Matrix is actually the world's most popular under-saddle pickup. It's been installed in many guitars directly from the factory. It's a very popular aftermarket pickup. And this is the latest version of the complete system. It's actually available in two different varieties. The one that I have here is the Infinity Mic Blend, which also includes a miniature microphone that's built into the guitar. And there's also a version called the Infinity VT, and that is just the preamp and the pickup and the onboard controls, but no internal microphone. Let's take a look at the different components. At the heart of the system is the Acoustic Matrix pickup, and as you can tell, it's a very thin element. It mounts underneath the saddle element of the guitar, so you can't actually see it once it's installed. And it's available in several different configurations. It's in a narrow format, which I have here. There's a slightly wider version of this for wider saddle slots. There's also a split saddle version of this that you can use with guitars that have split saddles in the bridge. There's also a ukulele version of this. The pickup then connects with an onboard preamp, and as you can see here, the preamp itself, which is underneath this housing, connects directly to an end pin jack, and it goes right here in the guitar. And connected to it is the lead for the pickup itself, as well as the connections for the onboard controls. And there's two sets of controls. One is a control that includes volume and tone. And on the guitar itself, it's right here in the sound hole. And there's also a small switch for the voicing of the pickup. Now, the volume control is self-explanatory. It's louder and quieter. You can also use it to mute the signal. The EQ is interesting in that rather than just adding bass or treble as most EQs would, the EQ on this switches from completely flat to kind of a smile EQ curve that tames some of the mid-range frequencies that can sometimes be a problem with acoustic guitars in amplified setting. The voicing switch is something that the Matrix system has had in previous versions, but it wasn't accessible. It was made to sort of, as you installed the pickup, you could choose which one of the voicings you would have. And that really leads me to the main reason for kind of redesigning the Matrix system in the first place. And that is that when the Matrix first came out 20-some years ago, the modern acoustic guitar amplifier that is so common today really didn't exist yet. And so Fishman originally voiced the system to sound as good as it could through a regular electric guitar amp or through a larger PA. And the switch kind of compensated for that. One setting has a little bit of a bass boost, the other area is flat. And now you have access to that right here in the sound hole. You can choose which one sounds better. Maybe for solo guitar playing where you want as rich a sound as possible, you can have a little bit of that bass boost. If feedback on stage is a problem or your guitar is a little boomy sounding, you can have the flat setting. And it's kind of handy to have it right here. And I can show you what it sounds like in just a moment. The other part of the control is unique to the Infinity Mic Blend that I have here, and it is a blend control for the internal microphone. In most cases, you would install one of these controls in the top of the sound hole, the other one on the bottom. And the microphone itself, which on this guitar is installed right here underneath the strings in the sound hole, is a very nice little design. Sticks in with a double stick tape, and the microphone itself kind of swivels in this little bracket, so you can adjust it to provide the optimum sound. There have been other systems that Fishman has offered with internal mics that used internal goosenecks and slightly more complicated systems, but this is very easy to install, very easy to use, and it's just a very nice design that also doesn't look like it would be very likely to rattle or do anything like that that might get in the way of the acoustic sound of the instrument. So those are the major components of the Matrix Infinity system. There's also a connector for a 9-volt battery that gets installed inside the guitar. And I should also mention that all these connections are solderless, so you don't need to solder to get this system installed. One other very cool feature about this system is that you can use it in either a mono or stereo setup. And you don't have to switch anything. If you plug a stereo cable in here, tip ring sleeve stereo cable, then the pickup will go to the tip side of the cable and the microphone will go to the ring side. So you could split your signal into 2 channels if you want to EQ your pickup and your microphone separately, for example. If you have a system where you can have more of the pickup in your monitor sound than the house sound, there's different options that you can have, and that's a very nice feature to have, especially for performance situations. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at the components that are part of the Fishman Matrix Infinity mic blend system, let's take another listen to it. Again, I'm plugged straight into a Fishman SA330x speaker system here. And right now I've got the system completely flat. I'm using only the pickup. I haven't added the microphone to the signal, and I have the voicing switch in the flat position as well, and the EQ is in the flat setting also. So this is the most basic sound that you can get from the system. It's already a nice sound, but I find that adding a little bit of an internal microphone will just give you a little bit more air to the sound. Also, if you do any percussive techniques, you'll notice that right now you don't hear a whole lot of that. If I add a little bit of the mic just by blending it in with the little wheel inside my sound hole here, there's a little indentation in the middle that shows me when I'm right in between the two settings. You can tell already I'm getting a lot more body sound. So now, a little bit airier sound. It might have added a little bit of high end from the microphone. It tends to broaden your frequency spectrum that the system puts out. Now, if I wanted to play with the onboard EQ wheel a little bit, right now it's flat. I'm going to put it all the way into the mid-scoop position right here. Again, if I set it flat, so it might seem like a subtle difference at first, but if you're on stage, especially at higher volumes, having these small differences in sounds can make actually a big difference in how your stage sound comes across. And I think by creating a very musical mid-scoop rather than just a bass treble kind of a situation with this, Fishman has really done their homework in creating a system that would allow you to sound the most natural in a stage environment. Let's also take a look at the voicing switch of the system, because right now I'm still in the flat setting, and I'm going to switch it now over to the slide bass boost. Let me go back to the other setting, the flat setting. Definitely a little bit brighter sounding with this guitar and this particular setup. I would probably prefer the slide bass boost in here. However, in playing situations where I might want to cut more through the mix, or with a guitar that's larger than this and already has more inherent bass built in, having the flat option just may lead to better results. And I definitely like the ability to change it right here on board rather than to have to go into the preamp as you did with some of the earlier Acoustic Matrix pickup configurations. So that's the Fishman Matrix Infinity mic blend. It's a worthy upgrade to earlier versions of the Acoustic Matrix system, and it's a great option for an aftermarket pickup for really any guitar with a standard flat top bridge setup. As long as you get the right pickup element, this will work on steel string guitars, nylon string guitars, 12 string guitars, and having the onboard mic is a great option. The simpler version with just the Infinity VT without the microphone is of course also a great option, and if you're playing mostly in very high volume situations, you may not be able to use much of the mic as it is because of feedback issues. So whichever one you choose will largely depend on your own performing situations, but it's a great system. It's a proven setup. It's worked for many people, and this latest version of it is probably the best sounding yet. So check them out at your Fishman dealer, and please come back here and visit us at pegheadnation.com. My name is Teja Gerken.